Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and Tennessee takes on the Missouri Tigers this Saturday, noon kickoff. Both programs, really, when I sit down and look at these teams, I feel like both programs are in a similar spot 4 games into the season. They're both looking to get to 3 wins. Both teams have a couple of wins over inferior opponents. Missouri has beat Central Michigan and Southeastern Missouri, and they've got losses to Boston College and Kentucky. As of right now, Missouri currently favored by 3, which that's about right. That's about what I expected. With it being a home game for Missouri, they get those extra couple of points. But this thing feels like a straight-up pick-em to me. Missouri has won 6 out of their last 7 home games. So, look, once again, Tennessee going to have their hands full. The next 2 weeks, I talked about it in the post-game show for Florida. I talked about it yesterday in the video I made. The next 2 weeks are crucial if this football team wants to get to 6 wins. We'll take a look at the scouting report for Missouri here in just 1 second. You guys want to get an advantage over your sports book, you need to head over to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download BetQL, the only app you need to make smart bets. Their computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. Also gives you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from spreads to over-unders and player prop bets. But I know how some of you guys are. You don't always listen. You want to play armchair quarterback, and that's fine. If you want to do the work yourself, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your research needs. Sharp data so you can see who the pros are backing, line movements, you can jump on betting opportunities in real time. They've also got great team summaries highlighting previous success against the spread and the over-under. So go to try.betql.co/Vols to get started now. Going to drop all the links in the description below, but if you use that promo code VOLS at checkout, you're going to save 25% on all subscription offerings. They also have a deal where you can get an entire year of BetQL for free. So jump in the description below. Check that out, BetQL. So let's take a look at this Missouri football team. Head coach Eli Drinkwitz enters his 2nd year at Missouri after going 5-5 a year ago. Coach Heupel met with the media this week, said this entire Missouri offense goes through their running back, Tyler Beatty. And, you know, he's trying to replace Missouri's all-time leading rusher in Larry Roundtree, but he is a good little running back, got a lot of speed. He's really good in space. He'll make guys miss. And Missouri's, they're averaging 159.5 yards per game on the ground, and Beatty's leading the way with 417 yards, 5 touchdowns. But the way they'll really look to utilize him is in the passing game. And through 4 games, he has 20 receptions for 176 yards and 3 touchdowns. A lot of people say he is the best receiving running back in the country. But who's delivering the ball to him when you look at the quarterback position? Connor Bazelak. He's completing almost 70% of his passes at 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And this is a guy that he got thrown to the fire last season as a redshirt freshman. But going into 2021, unlike Tennessee, we had no idea. We had 4 guys. We had no clue who was going to lead this football team at the quarterback position. And here we are 4 weeks later, still trying to figure that out. But for Missouri, going into this football season, Connor Bazelak knew the job was his. He knew this football team was his. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, got a good arm, good size. He can escape pressure, but I wouldn't say that he's a mobile quarterback. And every single week, we talk about how Tennessee needs to find a way to get pressure, get to the quarterback, force mistakes. This week, I think, is their chance to do that. And you know, the Missouri offensive line has given up 13 sacks through 4 games. They don't really turn it over a lot. They're +3 in turnover margin. But I think that's an advantage for Tennessee because, you know, look at the Florida game. It's a completely different type of football game when you have to, you know, you got to keep that contained, stay in your pass rushing lanes, try to keep Emory Jones from getting out of the pocket. And we all saw how that worked out. I would compare this game a lot to the Pitt game. The difference being, I don't think Connor Bazelak has the feet to escape pressure as much as we saw in that Pitt game. If Tennessee can find a way to get some pressure, put them in 3rd and long, be able to pin your ears back and go put some pressure on Connor Bazelak, I think it could be the difference in this football game. When you flip over to the defensive side of the ball, Missouri giving up 32 points per game and almost 270 yards per game on the ground. And I know you've got to look at not only quality of opponent, but who they play, but stopping the run has been a problem. And how does that translate to this game coming up on Saturday? And something you got to look at is Cooper Mays. I don't think Cooper Mays is going to be on the field Saturday. I mean, he was down to one arm, one leg by the end of that Florida game. Just highly doubtful that he's going to be able to go. And we've seen it. We've seen the Vols have struggled to run the ball when you move Jerome Carvin into center. You got to plug somebody else in at guard, whether that be Ollie Lane. I would really like to see them shuffle Cade Mays into guard and give Dane Davis a chance on the outside at tackle, because it's just when Cooper Mays comes out and they move Carvin over, the middle of the line just completely falls apart. So I would like to see move Cade in and let's get some strength on the interior. I feel like Cade Mays plays better on the inside anyways. I would like to see them do that if Cooper Mays can't go. But is Tennessee going to be able to take advantage of what I think Missouri's weakness is on defense, and that's stopping the run? We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Particular player that I think you need to keep your eye on their defense is Blaze Aldridge, leading the team with 36 tackles, also leading the team with 4 sacks from the linebacker position. When you look at their secondary, they got a veteran group in the secondary. Last year, they struggled to force turnovers, but already this season, through 4 games, they have more interceptions than they did the entire 2020 season. So will Tennessee be able to take advantage of this defense for Missouri? I think we could see a shootout on Saturday. But for me, it goes back to what I said towards the beginning of this video. These are 2 very similar programs, very evenly matched. It reminds me a lot of the Pitt game. And sadly, Tennessee, once again, just like they were in that Pitt game, they're going into this game banged up. We have no idea if Hendon Hooker is going to be able to go. And I think at this point, most people realize Hendon Hooker has proven that he's the best quarterback on this team, definitely the most consistent. And then he adds that extra dynamic with his feet, the ability to make plays. Reminds me a lot of Josh Dobbs. I know a lot of people say that, but the way he moves when he's running the football, he's just dynamic. He looks very similar to Josh Dobbs. If he's healthy, I really like Tennessee's chances in this game. If Hendon Hooker is healthy and able to play, I feel really confident about Tennessee's chances on Saturday. If not, what do we see? What do we see from Josh Heupel? He doesn't comment on these things, says he doesn't comment on hypothetical situations when asked about Hendon Hooker being injured and what he does with the quarterbacks. But what does he do? If Hendon Hooker can't go, is he going to open up the quarterback competition this week? Or does he just go right back to Joe Milton, who, was injured last week, but we still saw him late in the game? Didn't look good at all. Did not look good. Probably the worst he's looked all season, in my opinion. But when they put out the depth chart this week, still shows Joe Milton as the top quarterback on the depth chart. I like Tennessee's chances to be able to run the football in this game against Missouri. If I was Tennessee, I would give them a healthy dose of Tyon Evans. Run it down their throat for 60 minutes. But you got to be able to get some consistency in the pass game. If they go with Joe Milton, he has to put it together. He has to. He's got to find a way to connect on the deep ball. I like Tennessee's defense against a less mobile quarterback. I've been really impressed with this Tim Banks defense. Call me crazy. I feel like they have overperformed at this point. And I know, the Indy kids been pretty rough on the secondary. I'm not saying they're playing perfect. I feel like they're playing better than we expected. And I know they gave up a lot of points to Florida and a lot of points to Pitt. I get it. But I do like this defense against a less mobile quarterback. And like I said, I feel like this is a very eerily similar game to Pitt. But with that Pitt game, I never felt comfortable. Never. All throughout the offseason, when people were asking our predictions, we were doing way too early predictions, talking about can Tennessee get to 6 wins. I never felt good about that Pitt game. However, this week's a different story. I felt confident in the offseason. I feel confident after watching Missouri play Boston College this weekend. I just like Tennessee's chances in this ball game. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm going Tennessee 38, Missouri 24. They finally put it together this week across the board. Offense, defense. We finally see a complete game. I think Tennessee takes care of business. You guys know the deal. Drop into the comment section below. Leave me a comment. Let me know your predictions. Don't forget to join us tonight. We are live 8 p.m. Eastern, just as we are every single Tuesday, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Leave me your predictions in the comments below. Also, you can check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Just go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Different styles, designs, sizes. We got hats. We got toboggans. We got all kinds of good stuff. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. But if not, I just ask that you smash that thumbs up and join us for Talkin VAWLS live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs how like me, poets sat in our chairs.